Um, I mean, I was kind of tinkering with it a little bit, uh,
Yeah, totally.
but I think really what mostly gets me is when I have to submit assignments and I don't know if I'm uploading them correctly because I'm used to
Okay.
using Blackboard and Canvas is kind of new to
I
me.
know. Yeah, I like Blackboard myself. I have used Blackboard for about 13 years at another university, so I'm very familiar with that. The great thing about Canvas is that it is extremely, very simple interface. It doesn't have all the bells and whistles, say, as Blackboard, but it definitely is. It's perfect in terms of just the basics per se. So I will be very happy to demonstrate and to show you exactly how you will go about with go ahead and submitting an assignment. So please allow me to do so. I am sharing my screen, and in case if
Hmm.
you can't see it, let me know. But I'm just now pivoting over here to Canvas, and then
Hmm.
just in case I went too fast, how to get to Canvas is that you will go here from the university's website. Under academics, you will click on Canvas. So we have a single sign-on system. A single sign-on system means that you just simply have to sign into one system, like your university email, or you can sign into your what else? You can sign into the university's email, or you can sign into my HT, and you will have automatic access to Canvas. So once you click on Canvas, it'll take you to this site. And again, was automatically brought right into Canvas because I'm already signed into my university email. Okay. So
Hmm.
once I am signed into Canvas, let me go ahead and select a class. It sounds as if you are a student. So what I'm going to do is demonstrate and show you how you would go ahead and submit an assignment as a student. So first and foremost, I want you to keep in mind, Selena, that every course looks different. That's because professors have the autonomy, the academic freedom to design their courses as they please, but they must make sure that they have a couple of things. One, they have to make sure that they provide the syllabus and information about themselves, and then, of course, information about the course and how the online course is structured. So if you take a look here, this is an example class. Actually, it's a real class, but it was already had passed, but it's an example I'm going to use today. For this class, the particular instructor has just a splash screen telling you about the program, welcoming students and telling them exactly how to get started. So they're saying click on modules, and then if you want to look and monitor your progress, click on grades. If you need assistance with tutoring or like before you submit a paper, click on Smart Thinking and work with a live tutor 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and then also
For
monitor a
virtual tutoring.
yeah. The university has free tutoring for students. It is called Smart Thinking Tutoring, and the link is in every course right here. Yep. So it is available for all students. It is various tutoring disciplines. I'll go ahead and click on it just in case if you want to just see how it works. When you click on the link, it's going to make sure and check that your computer allow pop-ups. And then when you do sign into the system, in which you really wouldn't have to sign in, it's just that I actually have never signed in. But if you've already have signed in before, you can totally go in that way.
Hmm.
So let me go in and let me see. Okay, let's see. Let me go in a different way. 1 second. I'm going to leave as a student, and let me try going in as the instructor. Yeah, so Smart Thinking Tutoring, we do offer, this is what I like to see. And you will be provided with this later. Also, you can download the app and use it on your device or a tablet for free as well. It'll ask you here if you would like to use the mobile app, okay, or the iPad app. So you can download it. So for me, because I am an administrator here on campus, I can refer students to tutoring. That's why this looks a little different. I had to actually, here in Canvas, I had to remove myself as a student. So this is student view. Don't worry about this. I'm just giving you a little back end information. So why I actually clicked on the link and was asked to sign in. So right now I'm in student view, but I have to leave out of student view and then use my administrative account. So when I click on Smart Thinking, the way that I should is mapped to
Hmm.
my login. You won't have to do any of that. You just simply go here to Canvas, you click on the link, And when you click on the link, this is how it will look for you, okay? So what you can do is that you'll go to the dashboard of Canvas. You can be able to say, hey, I need help with my writing. Well, what do you need help with? An essay? Do you need help with just creating one paragraph? Do you need help with, like, say, your grammar and documentation, like for your paper? Or are you English second language, or like need assistance with a Spanish paper, or if you need assistance in Spanish, period? And then also we have a career center where you can receive help with your resume, or say your objective for like a job, or, you know, if you need a personal pitch statement reviewed. So this is all the writing center support. And if you also need help with tutoring, you can get tutoring in math, writing, well, we already clicked on writing, nursing, computer science, science itself, like biology, chemistry, and so forth, business, marketing, economics, and then, of course, Spanish. And we love the fact that if you have a pair of earphones that you can hook into your laptop or your tablet, you can receive assistance in foreign language as well in Spanish, or if you need assistance in math in Spanish, you can get that assistance as well. See, math in Spanish, Espanol. So for any of our students who speak Spanish and you would like to have someone that as well speaks Spanish to be able to assist in math. So that's an example. So if you know that, hey, I have to take statistics for my degree program, well, you can be able to receive support with statistics. So you click on the link, and this is what it looks like. You submit your question by clicking on Start. And then what will happen is that the tutor will come onto this whiteboard, and then you all will go back and forth in terms of tutoring support. Okay?
Awesome.
So this is Smarthinking Tutoring. Yeah. So how do you get to that again? It's by clicking on this link here for Smarthinking Tutoring. It is in every course. So it doesn't mean that you sign in to that particular class to get to the tutoring for only, like, for instance, if you're taking a math class, if you go to your math class and it says math up here and you click on Smarthinking, it doesn't mean that you have to only click on the link in the math class if you know you need, like, tutoring in English or in science. You can just simply just click on the link because it's mapped to your account. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to leave out of Smarthinking, but I'm very happy I demonstrated that. So let me turn myself back into a student, and then per your question about how to submit an assignment, we will go ahead and go here to modules because the instructor is stating that all the work is in modules. And then let's go to an example like an assignment where the student must submit an assignment to the instructor. So I'm going to scroll down here. Let's pretend that this is the second week of school. And the instructor has where this little icon here means assignment. The little paper clip means it is an attachment or a file. And then if you see two little chat bubbles, that means it's a discussion. And then I already know that this here is a quiz. Okay. So I'm going to go here to an assignment. An assignment means this is a document of some sort that you had to create or type up that you need to send to an instructor. The most typical assignments is an essay or a summary of a chapter or something where you had to use Microsoft Word or some word processing software to type up some document. But you can also upload a PDF as an assignment and so forth. So I'm going to go ahead and choose clicking on the link for the assignment. So for here, you have the assignment name, which is called the Grand Introduction. It is the final project that students have to do for this class. And it is worth 150 points, and it's giving you the due date. So for you, on your end, pay attention to how many points it's worth and pay attention to the due date that your instructor is telling you that it's due by. And then go ahead, your instructor should do this, but I want you to keep in mind every class is designed per the instructor's preference. So an instructor should provide to you an overview of the assignment, what is the actual assignment itself, if you're going to need any supplies or technology to complete it, and then what is the instructions to go ahead and complete the assignment. Again,
and that should be underneath the assignment when...
Well, again, every instructor has autonomy to how they design their classes, but there is something called Quality Matters online course design, and we try to make sure that we provide support to faculty and adjunct instructors that they design their classes per the standards of Quality Matters. So if you're working with an instructor here at HT, they should be Quality Matters certified. And Quality Matters will tell, well, not tell, but they support faculty and those who teach online and how to design a class. So in example, this particular assignment, which was really assigned to students, it will give the title of the assignment. The instructor is urged to make sure they give an overview just to help with in terms of the clarity and the expectation of this assignment to students. It's very clear. This assignment, students know, well, what is the overview of it? Well, in the past 5 weeks, we have learned about aspects of business, and it is an example for students to help them develop business etiquette by using the tools that they learn. So that's pretty much the overview of this assignment. Well, what is the assignment? Well, this assignment is about business networking and making connections. So conducting a 15 to 30-minute professional interview with a faculty, staff, or student, the student had to go about with interviewing a professional, and after they interview that professional using Microsoft Teams or Zoom or so forth, they then have to ask these questions during the interview. Well, after they ask those questions, let's look to see what the assignment is. Well, you have to interview by asking the questions above. You have to make sure it meets the time limit and making sure that the student showed gratitude and by saying thank you to the person that they interviewed. And then after that, they are to create and upload the presentation to YouTube. Take that link and they're going to submit it into the assignment link here. So this is an example assignment for a particular class. Your assignment may be where your instructor is telling you to do a summary of, let's say, chapter 4. Okay, after you read chapter 4, the assignment may be for you to upload the assignment via this link here. Okay, now because I've already demonstrated how to submit this assignment to someone else, it says resubmit. But for you, it'll just have the word submit assignment. So when you click on the link to submit the assignment, step number 1 is that you would choose the file, and step 2, locate wherever you have typed up and did your assignment. Let's pretend that I just found it. It was on my desktop, and let's pretend that this is English 101 essay number 4. So I just found the file, I double-clicked, and it's right here. I just attached it. And then I go ahead and I click on that I agree to the terms of submitting this assignment, and I click on submit. So that's all that you're doing. So those are the steps into how you submit an assignment. And I'll show you again. Step number 1 is that when you start off here at your course, let's pretend that this is your psychology class. And it says psychology, multicultural psychology. And then you have here the information about how to get started with your class. And then you will click on modules or assignments, because your instructor may have where the assignments are listed only in the assignments folder. This particular course, the instructor modularizes where all the work is, meaning it is in a particular folder called week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, and so forth. So this is an organized way of how work is presented to students. So they simply click on modules. You go to the particular week you're working on. Let's pretend that this is week 3. And then what you would do is simply click on the assignment. And from selecting the particular assignment, you will look to read about the assignment, how many points it's worth, what is the due date. You will read any information the instructor has presented. I personally have put in an overview. I am telling the student about the assignment. The students are provided with supplies and technology as needed, and then I give the instructions on how they are to complete it by the particular due date. And then when the students have adhered to all of this, when you are ready to submit your assignment, you will click on this red link here called Submit Assignment. Now, because I have already demonstrated and shown someone how to submit an assignment just for demonstration purposes, my link says resubmit. But if this is going to be your first time ever submitting an assignment, it would just simply say submit assignment. So you will click on the link for submitting the assignment. Step 2, you choose the file. Step number 3, find wherever your work is located on your computer or your flash drive, and just simply double click. And then let's pretend that this is your assignment. You selected it. You will click that you want to agree to the terms and then you click on submit, and you will get a confirmation here at the very top of your screen that says submit it, and it'll give you a time and date stamp of when you submitted your assignment to an instructor. Okay?
Got it.
Okay, so Selena, I do want you to keep in mind, again, that there are 3 different types of ways that students are assessed. This I showed you was called an assignment. But do keep in mind, there is also discussion that I'm hovering over. If you take a look here, discussions, and you also have quizzes. So how you will submit to these type of assignments are different. Well, these 2 assessments. If your instructor says that you have an assignment to do and it's done through discussion, let's pretend that this is your assignment and you are needing to interact with your classmates. What discussions is similar to Blackboard's discussion board. So you would simply click on the link, you would look to read what are the instructions that your instructor would like for you to discuss with your classmates. It shows here that it's worth 50 points and also the due date. And then after you're ready, when you've read whatever the question is, you simply click on the link to reply, and then you would just start typing like, you know, good afternoon, classmates. After reading chapter 4, I felt the most interesting part was da-da-da-da-da-da. Okay? And then you will go into just writing, you know, whatever you deem is an appropriate response. You will go here and you will click on post reply. Okay? And then the key about a discussion is that it allows for you to interact with your classmates. So if I actually go back and I go and take a look at the actual discussion, then you will see where your classmates will be visible. Okay? All righty. Okay. And then the last and final thing that I was going to show you is here the example for quiz. So if you or any student, if you have a quiz that your instructor is requiring you to do, you go here to the link, you click on the link for the quiz, pay attention to if there is a due date, how many points is worth, how many questions. You take the quiz, you click on the link, and you just simply go question by question by question. Here is the question, you simply mark the answer. Here is the question, you simply mark what you think is the answer. Here is the question, you simply mark what you think is, it's very simple. And you see how many points that each one is worth, okay? After very end, let's pretend that I'm just gonna go ahead and just skip for demonstration's sake, which I would never want students to just skip questions. But I am showing that once you click on submit, automatically you will see what your score is, how long it took you to complete your quiz, and it will give you if your answer, your selection was correct, or if your selection was wrong, okay? But this is telling me that
there's no waiting. There's no waiting for the instructor to.
Well, for this particular quiz, no, and for the majority of them, no. But you raise a good question because some instructors may prevent students seeing their responses because maybe they're going to wait till all students finish the quiz and then go back and then set that the responses can be seen, or they may give a curve. Some instructors may want to take in the data of looking to see how well students fared the whole entire class, and then they may give a curve, and then they'll show students the results. So it just it depends on the instructor and what their choice is in terms of allowing the students to see their progress. But for the most part, I mean, the majority of instructors that I have worked with, that I took a peek in their classes, they just simply let the students see their results immediately like this. Okay.
Got it.
All right.
Thank you.
No, my pleasure. My pleasure. So in summary, what I have shown you is how you will, as an online student, submit an assignment, how you will go about submitting your thoughts to a discussion, and then number 3, how you will complete a quiz. And again, this example is utilizing where your assignments and your learning material is all within modules. Okay, so do not at all be surprised or think something is wrong. If your instructor, say for one of your classes, if they choose to use the assignment link, or if they choose to use the discussion link, or if they choose to use the quiz link, these here, assignments, if they choose to use quizzes, or if they choose to use discussions, okay? So don't be afraid. I just like to personally just put everything in modules because it's just more organized, in my opinion, but yeah. Okay. So Ms. Sills, do you have any other questions for me?
No, ma'am. Just
okay, awesome. Well, I
putting
appreciate you joining
assignments on there has been kicking my butt. So I'm just like, oh my goodness, what am I doing wrong?
No, I'm sorry. You said what is kicking your butt? I missed the first part.
Oh, I said uploading assignments was what was kicking my butt. I stayed up till like 12:30 last night because I'm just like,
oh,
what do I do with
bless
this?
your heart. Wow. Okay. Well, I'm going to tell you, anytime you ever need to, you need assistance with Canvas, if you are like, you know what, I have no idea how to submit my assignment, there's two things you can do. Number one, when you sign into Canvas and you are here on your account, let me go back over here, sign out as a student. Okay, you're at your main account when you sign in. I want you to look down here at the very bottom where it says links, and you can be able to call someone 24 hours a day, or you can even go here and chat with someone live.
Okay.
So you can click on this link and you can simply say, how do I submit my assignment? Okay, because I don't want you to be worried thinking you don't have support at any time of the day. And then also utilizing the links here. Again, I'll repeat, if you need help with Canvas, you can call someone live or chat. And then as well, you can always contact me. So I'm putting here in the chat box my email address. So you can always contact me directly if you, yes, ever have a question regarding Canvas. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
My pleasure. What other questions do you have about Canvas that I can assist with?
That was mainly it.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you again for joining us. You do not have to leave if you don't wish, because how this Canvas SOS is structured, it is providing the opportunity for people to pop in and to pop out. So you're welcome to leave if you like, now that your question has been answered, or you're welcome to stay on and listen in to other people's questions if it may help you, okay? I want to say a very big welcome. I see Miss Owens is on. Hey, Miss Owens. She's one of my favorite people. So if you wish, you can unmute your microphone if you have a question, and I'll be very happy to show a demonstration of Canvas for you.
Good morning.
How you doing? How's everything?
Everything's everything. How about you?
The same, rocking and rolling. Got about 3 things going on. I'm filming a webinar, and I got this going, and then I got a budget meeting that I'm tapping into as well. So what's going on with you? How can I help with Canvas?
I wanted to ask, and I probably really have the answer to my question just because I see it being its own separate entity regarding like the discussion board. Is there any way to add the discussion board to like, I already know this answer, but I'm going to ask anyway. To like,
okay.
like in a module,
Yes.
No. Oh, yes?
I would love to demonstrate how to do that. Yes, ma'am. So let's do the course. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and go into a class. Okay, so for an instructor, this is how your class will look, right? So you have a navigation menu. Your navigation menu is where you will house content or where you will create an activity or an assessment to a student. I personally recommend to put everything in modules. So if I'm gonna turn myself into a student, now take a look at my navigation menu. Do you notice how it shortened, it condensed? That is because all of those other areas like assignments and discussions and quizzes and file, I don't need all of that. That's just too cumbersome. For me, if I was a student, which I've taken online classes as a student before, it's sometimes being bombarded with too many links to click on, it can just be very confusing or it can be overwhelming for a student. So I personally recommend that instructors, that they just put everything under modules, any assignment and learning content. Now, if it is a tool, you should make it available to a student. Like a tool for communicating, sending announcements to students should always be visible, called announcements. If you're ever going to hold class live at a particular date and time, you can use conferences. This is just like Zoom. And then, of course, you want to make grades always available so students can see the progress. And then Smarthinking Tutoring, and you know about that, that's just a way for students to get tutoring 24 hours a day, particularly during the evening when CAE is not available. So I'm going to go here to modules. And if you take a look at my modules, everything is, I say, compartmentalized. What does that mean? Everything is in a module. So each of these links with an arrow, a red arrow, is called a module. And within that module, you have content. Think of it as a file folder. Look at this and think of it as I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so forth. I have 5 file folders, manila folders. And when you open a manila folder, what do you have in it? Well, I have a page telling students about how to get started. I got a page that's the syllabus. I got a page that is ADA resources. I got another page that's in that folder giving them the policies of the course. But I also added some other content like a quiz to quiz them if they read the syllabus. I also have another file. I have a discussion that allows for students to be able to pose a question to the peers. I call it the water cooler. Think about people in the corporate world, like if they go to the water cooler, they're just shooting a breeze, or sometimes they're answering questions for one another. So I do that virtually, like, hey, if you have a question, feel free to submit it here, and your classmates can help in answering them. Okay, so that's one module called Start Here. That's like an orientation helping students online to get started with their class. And then, of course, you have your chapters or what learning content. So this, instructors like yourself, you can group your content by chapters. You can group it by weeks. That's what I was just showing Ms. Seals. That was an example earlier where hers said week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5. You can also group it by subject matter. So if an instructor is teaching, like, say, freshman experience, they may group this called time management. This module here may be study skills. This module here may be called HT history, and so forth. So the question on the floor, you're asking me, Ms. Owens, how do you add a discussion or discussion board to a module? So first step, let me go ahead and leave out of the student view. First step is go to modules. And when you go to modules, the next step is that you want to go ahead and click on add a module. So this is up to you if you want to do it like week 1 or week 2 or week 3 and week 4 and put in the date. That helps students stay organized and knowing what work they have to do per week. Or you can do it by chapters. So you can call it chapter 1 or chapter 10. Maybe whatever the students are going to do is going to be within work for that chapter. Or you can always just call it, again, whatever the subject matter is, such as studies, skills, folder. Okay. So after you create your folder, whatever you choose to name it, then you click on add a module. Because I already have modules created, I'm going to simply go off of one I've already created. So let's pretend you're ready to start to build content for chapter number 1. So what you would do is that you will click on this plus sign and you would select, well, what do you want to add to this particular module? Well, if you want to, I'm going to go back. If you take a look here, I've already provided students with a page. That's what this little icon here is, a page. I provided students with a page of chapter 1 notes. I also provided students with an external link, which is taking them out of Canvas to go watch a video about chapter 1. And then I'm also going to assess them on what they know by assigning them a paper, an assignment called Weekly Reflection, where they have to summarize what was most important or impactful for them about chapter 1, called a weekly reflection. And they also have to do a quiz over chapter 1, and then they have to interact with their classmates through a discussion. So let me show you how you will add a discussion just like this. So you will go to the plus sign, drop the arrow down, step number 2, and click on discussion. And when you click on discussion, go ahead and select you want to create a new one, unless you've already created one in discussions here, the navigation menu, because all of these are listed under discussion. But when you want to link what discussion you've made into a module, you can click on it and then link it to this particular module, or you can create a new one. For the sake of demonstration, I'm going to create a new one, and I'm going to call it Chapter 1 Discussion Board, or / group. You know what? Let me change it. I'm going to call it Chapter 1 Group Discussion. Step number 3, select Add Item. When you add it, it adds it in descending order. So every time you add something, it just drops down to the bottom of the list. You can always click on the little dots on the left by moving something in hierarchy, if you want to move it up or if you want to move it down, if it has a particular position and where it needs to be. So I'm going to go ahead for this, I don't have a position, but I'm going to click on that. And then step number 4 is that you will need to click on the link for it and click on Edit. So I'll repeat that. You went to Modules. You went and you added a new module. You named it Chapter 1, Chapter 2, Chapter 3, or Week 1, Week 2, Week 3, or a particular title, a topic. And then after you added your module, let's pretend that you added one called Chapter 1, and here it is, Chapter 1 module, and you're ready to add content to it. You click on the plus sign, and then you go ahead and you call it discussion. You add a particular item. So you drop the arrow down. People typically forget doing this. They gotta click on this arrow, and you have to select the appropriate item to add. So I'm going to say a discussion. I can always link in a discussion that I created manually under discussions, or I'm going to choose a new topic. And then I'm going to call it whatever, like say group discussions, Chapter 1. I gave it a different name this time. Okay, so there we go. We got 2 discussions that we just made. So now that you created the placeholder for the discussion, now you need to go in and add the details about the discussion. So you will click on the link, step number 4, and then click on Edit, and then give it a title. Give it some instructions. So you may want to say Overview. This week, we will learn all about successful study tips. Okay, so the assignment. After reading Chapter 1, create a thread and respond by answering the following question. What principle did you find most interesting and important to incorporate, if I can spell right, incorporate into your weekly study sessions? Okay, as an instructor, Ms. Owens, it is very important that you do one thing. When you create a discussion, you must make sure the question is subjective. You do not want to say to a student, list the 5 principles to study skills. Because guess what? All students are going to list the same 5 principles, right? So a discussion type of an assessment is to where it should be subjective, meaning pose a question that gets students thinking and have for them to reflect on it, okay? And then after that, you can simply tell students, after responding, then revisit discussion, or actually, let me give it a name, revisit group discussions, chapter 1 link, and respond and interact with 2 to 3 classmates. Be respectful of others' responses. Do point. You can always tie in objectives. So what are the student learning objectives? Okay. Alrighty, so after that, you just simply scroll down. Make sure that you allow for students to create threads. Make sure, me personally, I like for users to respond first before they can see other people's responses. That is a way for, number one, students to feel like that they've entered a conversation. Instead of like they can just drop in and they're just like looking at what everybody else says. No, we want you to get in and interact and get in on this good conversation. So if you click the link here that you want users to post before seeing anyone else's replies, make sure you click this checkbox. And then as well, you can click on graded, and that if students do this, they have up to 10 points that you're going to review later. And that after the 10 points, it can be earned when they submit it by, say, February the 5th. Okay, let's say that was an example. After that, you can then click on submit, and there is your discussion. So I'm going to go ahead and go to modules. Let's review it as if I'm a student. And when I click on student view, turn myself into a student, every instructor should always do this. A heads up, always turn yourself into a student by clicking on the little pair of glasses up here in the top right corner. And then you'll notice your menu is changed up. You're not in edit mode anymore. I'm going to go to module. I'm going to open up chapter number 1 module. And where is my group discussion? Here it is. When I click on the link, this is how it looks for students. It'll show your picture, Ms. Owens. It'll give the title of the discussion. Students know what the overview of the assignment is. Students are given what the assignment is. So after they read chapter 1, they are to create a thread and respond by answering the following question. What principle of do they find most important and incorporating into your weekly study session? After responding, then revisit the link and interact with 2 to 4 classmates and be respectful. And then here is the link to respond. So if I'm a student, I'm going to say on page 5, I thought reading my notes 1 hour before class was very helpful. This was interesting because okay? And then students will click on post reply. And then they're going to go back and they're going to interact with their classmates, right? Okay, so that is the whole purpose of discussions, is getting students to interact and to discuss a particular topic the same way they would in class, except they're doing it online, okay? So, Ms. Owens, did that assist you, or can I be able to amplify by showing another way, or what questions do you have, or how do you feel about that?
That was very helpful. I actually already have a discussion assignment already set up, like under discussions. And I noticed like last semester, like even with the navigation tool, I didn't have a lot of the navigation, I guess, tabs there, but I did have like home, announcements, modules, grades, attendance, conferences, smart thinking, quizzes and discussions, and I think I had the syllabus.
Okay.
And I was just trying to see, because it just seemed like it was just too many places to click. Like, even though I had I had assignments, and then I would move the assignments into modules, and it's like they were in two different places.
Yep. And what I recommend, disable assignments, disable discussions, and disable quizzes.
Okay.
Where's my quizzes? Yeah, disable it. And how do you do that? You go to settings and you go to navigation, because these blue links are called your navigation menu. You got your account menu over here in the red margin, but your course menu is called your navigation menu, how the students navigate the course. So I go here to navigation, and then I am going to click on one of the options and slide it down here to the bottom. Anything that you drag to the bottom, it means it's hidden from students. And after that, do not forget to scroll down and click on save. I have people who do that all the time. They'll go in and they'll say, oh, I modified my menu to how I want it, but it won't go away. And I said, well, did you scroll down and click on save? And they'll be like, oh, I forgot. I didn't scroll all the way down. So when you disable assignments and quizzes and discussions, that means you don't want students to have to be clicking in two different areas to get to the work, right? So under your view, you got over like 14 different links here. But you don't have to put assignment, because this is my opinion. And again, everybody teaches differently. As I was telling the student, Ms. Seals, every instructor has autonomy to how they choose to teach. What makes sense to me may not make sense to you as an instructor, okay? But research has shown you want students to have to make 3 or less clicks to get to their content. And I'll repeat that. When an instructor is designing an online or hybrid course, try to make it to where you design it to where students have to make 2 or 3 clicks at max. You don't want them going up here to click on home, looking at your announcement of what they got to do for the week, to click down here to click on the assignment, but you also want them to do a discussion, so they got to click on discussions, to later go down here and to click on to do their quiz, wherever quiz is. See, I'm already just overwhelmed by too many clicks. So I disable the areas I don't use, and I load all of my content into modules. And I just simply make it nice little folders, like manila folders. Like this may be my yellow folder, this is my blue one, this is my purple one, this is my red one, this is my orange one, and I'm gonna label it so it reflects whatever I'm doing for that chapter or that week or that unit. And then I simply load everything I want for that module by clicking on the plus sign, and you can add an assignment. You don't have to add assignments over here in assignments. You can add the assignment here and by clicking on new assignment, or you could add a file, like if you got a helpful handout that you copied for them on a PDF, and you can upload your new file by clicking on choose file, right? Or you can add a URL. Maybe you want them to go to a YouTube video. So you're going to go www.youtube and da-da-da-da-da-da. Okay, whatever the link is on YouTube, or copy and paste it from YouTube. And everything is in one folder called Chapter 1. Okay, so what questions you got, or what you thinking?
Awesome, that helps out a lot. I knew how to do away with those navigation menus. I was just, I had too many over there. I should have did away with them.
I am with you. Yeah.
And my next question would be, and this is just the last question, if you may.
Oh, you can take it away. Yeah, we still have over 10 minutes.
I want to, like, I already have a discussion. So how can I move that discussion into the module? And then I know how to do away with the discussion altogether now, but I want to make sure that I copy that. I want to sync that discussion that I've already created separately into the module, and then delete, then do away with the actual discussion navigation menu.
Okay, so step number 1 is go to settings, click on navigation, and then if your discussions is up here, drag it down and drag it down to the bottom because you want to hide it from students. So take discussions and drag it down, scroll down and click save. So that's step number 1. Okay. Step number 2, go to modules. And you need to create a module. If your module is already created, that discussion is appropriate to go into, let's pretend that it's this one here. You will click on opening your module. And if you don't have anything in the module, that's fine. If it looks like this, where it's just nothing in it, that's perfectly fine. You click on the plus sign. You're going to go here to add a discussion, step number 3. And when you click that you want to add a discussion, you should see the title of the discussion you created right here. So somewhere in this list will be your discussion that you created manually over here in discussion. You're going to click on the link, say, let's pretend that this is it, and you click on add item. And then there it is. Okay.
Okay, awesome. So even if I do away with the discussion navigation menu first, it's not going to affect, it's still going to be in there, correct?
No, because I'm going to go up here and I recommend you do the same thing. You see these little glasses? I'll go back. Up here in the top right corner, do you see these little pair of glasses? That's called student view.
Yes.
When you click on student view, turn yourself into a student and see how your class appears to your students. So you go here to module. You will locate the module that you created. Let's pretend it was this one. When you open it, here was that discussion that you created that was in discussions over here. But it's now more neat because students don't click on discussions. They just go right here to whatever unit you're presenting to them to complete for the week. And they click on the good study habits, and then here you go. There it is. That's the discussion.
Awesome. Thank you.
My pleasure. My pleasure. This is why we do the Canvas SOS. I love Canvas SOS because it allows people to drop in, quick, drop in, drop out, but it allows for see a demonstration instead of sitting through a whole full training. It just allows for them to see a demonstration of how to help with this or that. So you're getting your particular question answered. So cool. Okay, is there anyone else that has any other questions? We got about 5 minutes left. I'd love to show anyone anything.
I am good. Thank you so much for all that you do. I am going to leave the Zoom, but thank you so much.
Good. My pleasure. Thank you again, and thank you for all you do, especially for all of our students. Yeah, thank you, thank you. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
Ms. Steele, do you have any other questions I can assist with? Okay. All righty. Well, again, very, very thank you to everyone that attended today's Canvas SOS. I truly enjoyed helping out an instructor that had a question about how do you use discussion boards, how do you modify your course menu, your navigation menu, and how do you modularize your content into modules. And I absolutely had a great time working with one of our new students in terms of how do you submit an assignment, and then how do you go about with tutoring at a distance by utilizing Smarthinking Tutoring. So very happy, had a wonderful time. We are doing this every week, Tuesdays and Thursdays at 12 noon. So for everyone listening in on demand and will listen to this later, please join us live. If you have a question, a particular question you want to see a demonstration, every Tuesday and Thursday at 12 noon. And if you also have questions, you can always email me at cait@htu.edu. Again, if you have a question about Canvas, contact us here at Huston-Tillotson at C as in center, A for academic, I for innovation, T for transformation, cait@htu.edu. Thank you, everyone. Have a fantastic day. This recording will be made available under the university's website, and I'll demonstrate and show that real quick. For this recording and others, you go here under the university's page, Under Offices, you select Center for Academic Innovation and Transformation. And then you will scroll down and click on Demand. Okay, and there are the recordings, Canvas SOS. So feel free to tap into a prior session, or if you want to reference this one later, it'll be listed. Okay, so again, under Offices, Kate, and then click on Demand. Have a fantastic day. Bye-bye.